Wait a minute, Pak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's good.
Can you see my slide?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Halim. And also Pak Abdurrahman. Yeah, thank you very much for the time to be a part of the presenters in this wonderful conference, wonderful webinar. And also other presenters, speakers, keynote speakers, and also participants. Everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Muhammad Zain Miftah. I'm a lecturer in Department of English Language Education, IAIN Palangkaraya. Also, I'm managing the journal on English as foreign language. Yeah. Everyone, Bapak Ibu, still discussing Google Classroom. Okay, but now I'm going to present my presentation entitled Google Classroom as e-learning platform in EFL writing class during COVID-19 pandemic. And in these presentations, I just want to share my teaching experience during COVID-19 pandemic in writing class. What to discuss to this webinar? The first one is introduction. The second one is the problems in EFL writing class during COVID-19 pandemic. Then what is Google Classroom and advantages of Google Classroom? How to teach EFL writing using Google Classroom during COVID-19 pandemic, and conclusion. Several presenters, the previous presenters have presented their materials related to the Google Classroom, and in this presentation, I focus on Google Classroom in writing class. Yeah. Let's come to the first slide. As we know that utilizing ICT in today's teaching and learning English should be implemented in the 21st century, particularly during COVID-19 pandemic right now. Yeah. ICT has been established in different parts of life, such as in education field, specifically in ELT class, more specifically in writing class. ICT has been established during, moreover during COVID-19 pandemic. And in the writing class, yeah, the writing process activities, for example, is it surely needs the use of e-learning platform and social networks with internet support as part of the technology in 21st century. And the need of online learning during COVID-19 pandemic, learners need such a learning platform in online learning system. And And based on the research, yeah, in Indonesia, especially in Indonesia, EFL classes must go online during COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia. What are the problems actually in EFL writing class during COVID-19 pandemic? Based on my analysis, yeah, in writing class during pandemic, both the student and teachers should obey the government rule to avoid COVID-19 by doing social distancing. And the student right now, they do not get involved in writing activities of the writing instruction in face-to-face learning, yeah, in face-to-face instruction during COVID-19 pandemic. So due to the student conditions and also in terms of financial issue in this era, they need a learning platform with free access facilities following the online learning management system LMS. Therefore, it needs a way or a learning platform as the learning community or virtual learning community to engage them and to motivate them in learning to write during COVID-19 pandemic. So the trend problem is how to invite them to get involved in the writing process, in the writing activities during uh, COVID-19 pandemic. And Google Classroom is an alternative platform that can be used in the writing class. Then I assume that the use of Google Classroom as a learning platform is applicable in EFL writing class during COVID-19 pandemic because the application is free access and has features following learning management system. Now, what is Google Classroom? I think this Google Classroom is familiar and everybody knows this. I just want to refresh, yeah. What is Google Classroom? It is a simplified learning management system for users of Google Apps for Education, and it is freely available in at www.classroom.google.com. Yeah, and this applications was established in 2014. Yeah, Google combined the power of this package when they announced the launch of Google Classroom. For the educator, Google Classroom offers several unique opportunities to support student learning and engagement. So by this application, teachers can have a platform to engage students in learning. So Google Classroom as an e-learning platform, we can say e-learning community, online classroom community, virtual class community, where the teacher and student are connected and communicated in virtual English classroom, especially in EFL writing class. Here is the performance of Google Classroom. Yeah, I think it is not. It is familiar. We have two rules. I mean, there are two rules in Google Classroom as a teacher and as students. When look at this performance of Google Classroom website, there are many features. Yeah. As we know, there is class, yeah, classes, calendar, and then stream, classwork, people, marks. Yeah. In classes, we could create the group class. We can create the class based on our needs, and because my writing class is paragraph writing, and here is the example paragraph writings. And then the next features is stream. Yeah, streams. Here is the place for streams like forum. It is the place for sharing information. Teachers or students can share information here. For the classwork, classwork is the place for the assignment, for the task. Teachers can post it, okay, give information, can give a task through this place, yeah, classwork, and through this place, the student can submit their works based on our instruction. And as in this picture, there are many instructions from me during teaching and learning. And for the features of people, I think it is the place for indicating the members of the class. As I'm a teacher and I have members, I can check my members here. Yeah. So in my class there are 31 students joining in my class. And the next one is marks. This is the place for evaluation. Evaluation. Okay, now I'm going to tell the advantages of Google Classroom. Yeah. Google Classroom provides simple function or features such as classes, stream, or forum, classwork, with the place for tasks with private comments, and then people or group members, marks, evaluation, etc. It is these features for teachers in creating and managing the online classroom environment. So we can use these features for our classroom. And then Google Classroom assists students to contact and work easily with their classmates and teachers online. So it can engage them to learning critically by critical thinking and collaboratively with high motivation. And then the next advantage is Google Classroom enables students to do just that with tools such as Google Docs, which allows students to share document, presentation, and more in order to simplify, view, or to collaborate on the piece together. And the next one is provide lighter load for embedded educators, streamline instruction for educators such as teachers teaching classes. It means that by using this Google Classroom, we can bring our class, usually in traditional class, in face-to-face class, to bring in a Google Classroom. So the classroom firstly in face-to-face, and we can bring to our online class using Google Classroom.
Berarti mic-mu masih soft.
Yeah. And the last one, the advantage is to allow teachers to share writing prompts and other assignments. Yeah. In this case, the teacher can share everything in Google Classroom, can share materials, information, instructions, and then can control the student work, can give a feedback, and so forth. And now, because our focus is on teaching EFL writing, specifically paragraph writing using Google Classroom during COVID pandemic. So in my teaching experience, I how to teach EFL writing in paragraph writing. I have two parts of the activities. Yeah? Part one is the activities of modeling. Imitation in paragraph writing means this is the activities focuses on style and structure rather than content. So we can use imitation in paragraph writing in part one. Then in part two, after modeling, we can go for tasking. Here I give paragraph writing tasks, yeah, along with the review and revision tasks. Okay, firstly, in part one, modeling, imitation in paragraph writing, I have procedures here. The first one is introducing Google Classroom through the steps of make a group, create class group, yeah, entitled paragraph writing of Google Classroom, and I invited the students to join the group by sharing the group code. While sharing the group code, I can use the facilities, the features in forum, yeah, so everybody can access. Here is the example of the class details, because my class is focuses on paragraph writing, so the class is used for e-learning platform for of paragraph writing course. Okay. Now the next procedure is preparing materials. Preparing materials means here I should give the materials to provide the materials of paragraph structure. It focuses on understanding the concept, yeah, understanding the concept of paragraph structure, such as topic sentence, supporting sentences, concluding sentences. And for the steps, I ask students to read and understand the materials, and then make summary of the materials. And finally, I give the example of paragraph, and they should follow the example of the paragraph, yeah, because this is modeling and focuses on imitation in paragraph writing. Then they have to submit their works, and we can see this student works in understanding the concept. We can control the student works. There are 27 students submitted, yeah, handed in the in task in this focus. And however, there are 4 students left, yeah, Yeah, some student got a problem with the internet access. They chat me in WhatsApp group. They tell that they thought that they got a problem with the internet access.
Okay.
And here is the summary of materials, yeah, of the paragraph structure that submitted by the students in Google Classroom. And here is the example of the paragraph from the imitation, yeah, imitating a paragraph. Here the student should show the characteristic of the paragraphs based on the paragraph structure by highlighting, yeah, which one the topic sentence, which one the supporting sentences, and which one the concluding sentence.
Kita kirim-kirim ini.
Okay. Now the next procedure is how to develop paragraph. It focuses on content and organization. Here is through the steps. Yeah, I ask students to read and study the example. I give the next example of paragraph. Here is the example of how to make something paragraph. It is the process paragraph. I try to give the provide the materials, and they should answer the questions. Yeah, what is the main purpose of the paragraph? What is why did the author write this paragraph? And have you ever made egg salad? Yeah, because this is how to make egg salad.
Okay.
Then after that, the students asked to write their own paragraph by writing the main steps of design and present, submitted in Google Classroom through their Google Classroom account. It can be uploaded. It can be posted in comment column. Here is the example of the works, yeah, by students focusing on content and organizations. Also in this tasks, there are 27 students had submitted their works. However, for student life, yeah, in this task. And this one is the student works related to they are going to write the paragraph, but firstly writing the steps. Yeah, I mean the sentence 1, sentence 2, the step of how to make something, and come to the next procedure. It is combining sentences into a coherent paragraph. I ask students to combine the sentences listed into coherent paragraph by several steps. Yeah. Yeah, the first ones they should list the sentences, 5 to 7 or more sentences, by making list of the sentences, and finally I ask them to combine the sentences into a paragraph to be a coherent paragraph using transitional signals. Okay. Here is the examples of the student works of combining sentences into a coherent paragraph. Here is the students' work. They write some sentences and also make paragraph by combining the sentences they have made. Okay, the next part, the second parts now. Yeah, the second part is tasking. So in these taskings, I asked them to write the opinion paragraph, and also I asked them to do a peer feedback. Yeah, well, I'm a teacher giving giving feedback as a teacher feedback. Here is the procedure. The first one is writing an opinion paragraph. Focus on before writing and writing draft activities. Yeah, the steps are I ask students to read the materials of opinion paragraphs providing by the links, and then I ask them to get ideas of the topic by brainstorming a topic about new normal. Yeah, new normal, which is the interesting topic to debate in Indonesia right now in during COVID-19 pandemic. And the question is, do you think it is necessary to do new normal during COVID-19 pandemic? Why or why not? Yeah. To do brainstorming, the student asks to make a design of negative, positive idea. So they should write such like a column, which one the positive ideas of new normal, which one the negative ideas of new normal. And after that, I asked them to write a draft, yeah, of an opinion paragraph by writing topic sentence and then supporting sentences and concluding sentence. And finally, I asked them to submit their works through the Google Classroom. Here, this the example of the students' works. This is the first draft, yeah, of paragraphs about new normal.
Excuse me, can you make it a little bit fast?
Okay, Pak. Thank you, Pak Halim. Then the next is teacher feedback. Yeah, I give the feedbacks. It focuses on the content and organization of the opinion paragraph. Yeah, by sharing the feedback in forum. Then I ask them to do peer feedback. Yeah, this is the next procedure. In giving feedback on the peers feedback, I mean on the peers opinion paragraph, I ask them to make a group of 3. It is based on their choice. Yeah, there is no special way for creating the group because there is no features in Google Classroom to create small group. Yeah, it is different from other applications such as Edmodo. I have ever applied Edmodo, and there is features of how to create a small group. By making this group, they can give feedback, correction, suggestion, and I ask them also to use a peer editing sheet for opinion paragraph that I share. Yeah, I give the link. This is the guideline for a peer editing sheet, and this is the example of their works of giving feedback. There are 28 students have submitted. However, 3 students left in this group. Okay, the last procedure is revising and editing activities. Students should do self-editing activities and writing final product. I asked them to read the feedback from a teacher, and then a feedback from peers by using peer editing sheet, and then they should highlight the changes or revision made by using coloring or handwriting as they want. And finally, they should write the final product of opinion paragraph. This is the example of their works. They highlighting the changes in revision activities. And here is their final product. Their final products that should be submitted, yeah, at the final of the activities in my Google Classroom. Finally, everyone, Google Classroom as a learning platform or virtual learning community which focuses on student-centered and collaborative writing is very useful in EFL writing class during COVID-19 pandemic. Google Classroom can engage students in writing activities, enhance their critical thinking, encourage them to write paragraphs, and enhance their writing ability. Utilizing Google Classroom may be done by following the process of peer and teacher feedback through the activities of getting and organizing ideas, drafting, posting, uploading, downloading, commenting on the work, revising, editing, writing final version, and posting the final product. And finally, the success of such activities in Google Classroom activities depend much on the role of the teacher as facilitator and the controlling activities when implementing Google Classroom during COVID-19 pandemic. I think that's all.